Hey everyone, this is the Millennial Investor here with the December update. So let's go ahead and get started with Lending Club. If we go ahead and take a look at the account, you're going to notice that it is up significantly, aka I've invested another $50 into Lending Club, 25 from Prosper, as well as an additional 25, which brought me up to about 6604. And then this month, or the month of November, which had 30 days, I actually had no notes go into default. Everything that was in grace cleared, everything was good, and I made $72 worth of interest in the month of November. So that's really good. It's actually the best month I've had to date. Right now I have a couple notes that are currently in the process of, possibly going late or worse. But from the looks of it, they're looking pretty good, or at least two of the three of them are. You can kind of see my stats over here, as well as my interest to date over here. So I have 434.04, and it looks like I have roughly a little bit more than half of that being shown. Okay, so in terms of the notes that are in grace right now, I have these two. Both of them have about $7 worth of payments so far, so even if I have to sell them at a small loss, that's reasonable for the gains I made this previous month. This note over here is the one I'm most concerned about. They haven't really been contacted yet, but they've had a few issues with their payments, and if we take a look at their credit, you're going to notice that they've been making payments but doing it in grace, and this past month it has plummeted to the 550 range, and your credit only plummets that much if you're missing payments, if not in Lending Club but in other avenues of life, then that is the reason for that. So there's a good chance this one's going to default, so I'm probably going to have to part ways with it. In terms of the other one, it is currently in pending, so I don't know if they were contacted. I thought they were, but over here it says it's pending. So most likely this will be okay, and this will go through, and their credit score is on the up, or somewhat higher than it started as, so fairly confident about this note. In terms of my super late note, or my 16 to 30 days, the reason I haven't sold this is because there has been a promise to pay. And when I see that now, I don't immediately sell a note. So someone suggested that I hold on to notes a little bit longer than I typically do, and I've been doing that, and so far it's been working great. I still think you should sell a note in probably about 12 days or so after that grace starts. And if they make some kind of contact or promise to pay, then hold on to it. But if there is none of that, or if it's just like message, 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 then just get rid of the note. So they are on a payment plan. Their credit score is a little low, but I do believe they're going to be paying through. So things are looking pretty good for this note, and that's of course going to up my gains. So Lending Club is looking great this month. Let me just go ahead into the more details. And this is something interesting also. So this number always hovers around 50 or so, but I did check and I did make $72 worth of gains this last month. So I think that even though it's showing that number, it isn't a very accurate representation of the true interest that I'm making. Now I understand this number constantly goes up and retracted and everything, but it isn't, the gains were significantly higher than that. Okay, you can also see how this is going. I'm trying to turn over more notes, and I'm trying to invest more into Lending Club because I'm gaining more confidence in this platform. So I'm going to continue to do that. And if Lending Club keeps performing, then I have no issue investing more money in it. It's just when it's not performing, or not performing as well as I'd like, that I invest in other avenues. So like this past month, the stock market was at some of the lowest it has been in a while, and I invested a decent amount of money in there, and it actually made a lot of money since probably November 9th or so. So it was a good month for it in the stock market as well. Okay, now let's head over to Prosper, and Prosper's doing great. If you haven't followed me for a while, I am in the process of selling all my notes off of Prosper, or not selling my notes, but moving money from Prosper over to alternate investments, which in this case currently is Lending Club, because recently Prosper has eradicated their trading note platform. So you can no longer trade notes, you can no longer sell notes. So the only way to get your money off of Prosper is for the note to fully mature, which is great if you have 5 years or 3 years to wait for your money. But if you don't, you always have to be thinking about 3 years or 5 years into the future. And that's a little too much for me. Also, if you can't sell a note, you have to absorb those losses when they happen, and you have to absorb those losses at 100%. So right now the platform Prosper's been great. I've only had one note that went late, and that was last month due to a bankruptcy. And of course, if it's a bankruptcy, it happens, and I'm not, annoyed or anything. I hope those people are okay. But it happens, and yeah, my internet's going a little slow here, but there we go. Just so you can see my notes, and everything's looking really good. So other than this one bankruptcy, everything's been great, and I am in the process. You have to get $25 before you actually transfer your money out. You're allowed one less than $25 transfer per month, but pretty much because you can only buy notes at $25 increments on Lending Club, I'm just waiting for this number to hit 25, then I transfer it over to Lending Club, and I purchase a note on that platform. Okay, so this is looking good as well. Let me go ahead and pop up the classic view. You still have to do that route to check out your results. So you can see, these notes have aged a while, and I've been doing this for a while, so things are looking pretty good here. $70 worth of interest. Overall, Prosper's doing great, and I wish I could stay with this platform, but it's just really hard to when you got to keep all your money and you can't sell and trade notes and things like that. So yeah, that's been this month. It's been really good. So I'm going to hopefully continue this going. And yeah, I'll see you for the next update, which is going to be a little later because I will be most likely celebrating the New Year's with my family. So I won't, you'll see an update, but it's going to be probably a little more than or a little less than a week after Jan 1st. But until then, feel free to subscribe or like or leave some comments below. I do my best to reply to those. So if you have any good questions, just let me know. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this update. This is the Millennial Investor signing out. Peace.